Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially late here on a Tuesday afternoon. You know, this is a little later than normal for us. But number one, we have our agency automator trainings that we hold every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern. So this actually worked out perfect today. We're talking about a great indexed annuity product with one of our core carriers. Okay, a lot of new changes, enhancements. We're very excited about this. I also think it's really important. We have a lot of life agents. We have 20,000 total agents across the U.S. and about 20% of the 20,000, so about 4,000 are annuity agents. But I hear so often from our life agents, hey, Bill, you know, I've been writing with ABC Financial and giving them all my annuity business. I had no idea that you had an annuity department. And I always reply and say, of course, you know, we've had this now for about 5 years, but we came on strong about a year and a half ago. And it's crazy because now our premium is literally double than it was a year ago at this time. So we are doing something right. And my plan is that everyone on the call sees the value, not only what Levinson brings to the table, but what one of our top annuity carriers brings to the table as well. And a lot of you also don't know that between Josh Hoffman and Ashley Bradbury, we have a total of over 40 years experience between both of them in the IMO space. Okay, so one of them worked for a top IMO that actually was a top IMO years ago. And the other one worked for a home office in the annuity comparison department. So they would sit there and look at other products to see what works, what's hot, what's not, and then come up with a great product on their own. So anyway, they are here for you. I would leverage their knowledge on your next case. Pick up the phone, call or email, whatever easier for you, and they will make sure that you have the right product, you have the correct marketing material, everything's 100% compliant, and you're off to the races. So anyway, that's the point of today's call. I want everyone to walk away with some nuggets that you can use in your everyday practice, even if you've never written an annuity before. That's the plan for today. Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going to do our question of the day at the end of the call. So make sure you're paying attention, jotting down notes. Whoever answers first and correctly wins your choice of an Amazon Echo or an Amazon Fire tablet. Okay, you pick. And also, as we go, use that question box. Okay, it should be in the bottom right corner. There should be a little pane there. You can type in anything that comes up. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's feedback, if it's a question on a product, or how does this work. Please type in those questions. We're going to do our best to answer every one as we go. And if we don't get to you, we'll answer as soon as we hang up the webinar today. Okay, but please, we want to hear from everybody that's in attendance today. Okay, so that's Josh on the left side and Ashley on the right side. And like I said, over 40 years combined annuity experience. That doesn't mean life, health, annuities, critical illness, major med, group health. No, annuities. That's it for over 40 years. So I can't stress how important this is, that you all need to know. You can pick up the phone and they're going to be at the other end and they have the time to help you. That's their job, to build out the Levinson annuity department. That's the focus, and we've done exactly that, especially over the last 12 months during a pandemic. So things are going great, and my hat goes off to both of you, by the way, Josh and Ashley. So keep up the great work. Okay, so without further ado, Ashley's going to jump right in and show you some of the value add and what makes Levinson's annuity department unique. Ashley?
Thanks, Bill. So I just wanted to start off by briefly going over our annuity experience section of our website. This section allows our agents to retrieve hot product lists, agent and carrier incentives, sales tools, and annuity lead information, as well as contracting details. So anything that you're wanting to find or look for as far as annuity goes, this is where you can find it all on our website. So if you go to the Annuity Carrier Rates tab, then you can access our annuity search engine tool, which is a tool that is free to all of our agents. So anybody who's registered on our website can utilize this tool. This will allow you to search for any type of fixed annuity that you are looking for, and also you can see any rate changes for any carriers that are upcoming as well. You can put in specific information to narrow it down to indexes, surrender schedules, penalty-free withdrawal amounts, and so forth. So you can find whatever tools that you're looking for on our Annuity Rate Watch section there. And then you can also retrieve our annuity quote request. So that will allow you to input all of your consumer's details or your client details to request an illustration to be processed and emailed to you. So once you go to that rider quote request section, you input all of your client's information, when they are wanting to take income or what you're looking for, if you want a doubler, only an A-rated carrier, an income rider that grows over time, it doesn't have a level payout, you can input those options here. As soon as you submit that, that goes directly to our annuity division and somebody will be in contact with you to work on that request for you. All right, Bill, I'm going to switch it back over to you.
Yep, good stuff. This is probably one of your favorite parts of the webinar right now, as we're talking about annuity leads. Okay, so we have negotiated an unbelievable co-op price, a discounted rate for all of our agents. These exclusive annuity-only leads are starting at $45 each with no minimum order, no monthly contract to where they keep charging your credit card. So if you want to order 1 or 5, totally up to you. Once you're active with at least one annuity company through Levinson, then we give you full access. And then, of course, the pricing is passed through to you. And basically, you're riding the coattails of the other thousands of Levinson annuity agents. And it's like we're negotiating buying power. I look at it like Costco versus the neighborhood supermarket. Okay, so the lead program is working great. This was a testimonial that just came in on the right-hand side. This is from Paul, who's just a typical Levinson life agent, okay, never really dabbled in the annuity space. It all started about a year ago when the whole COVID-19 issue hit, and this is what he sent in. I wanted to share with everyone. I think it's important. Thanks for all of your help. I placed my first annuity after trying out the Levinson Annuity Lead platform for the first time. The annuity team was pivotal in helping me find the right carrier to seal the deal. So that's what it's about at the end of the day. If you're a veteran annuity agent, great. Okay, take advantage of our MAP bonus incentive programs, leverage all the opportunities that we have to offer. If you've never written an annuity before, that's great too. Try out the lead program. If you have a client on the phone, right, and maybe you know just enough to be dangerous, but you need a little more guidance, pick up the phone, speak to Josh or Ashley. That's what they're here for. I said it 3 times already, so I can't encourage that enough. Okay, let's jump into the feature presentation. One of our core annuity carrier, SILAC. We have Mr. Tim Swoboda that's joining us. He's our external wholesaler, or VP, if you will. Tim, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate that. That was a great intro. Again, my name's Tim Swoboda with SILAC, and we have got some fantastic news. So if you're looking for an opportunity for a very impressive annuity with some pretty cool crediting strategies for those annuity leads, I think SILAC could be the company for you. Let's go ahead and get started because we only got just a few moments here to go over a lot of information. So what we're going to talk about Denali. Denali is our newest indexed annuity, no fee income rider. Yes, you heard that correctly. And then we're going to talk about Ravenpack, our newest indexing strategy we launched March 1st of today. And then we're going to wrap it up, just how powerful Ravenpack and Denali are in some case studies. So I always say it's a good thing. Hey, you should probably know the person You should probably know the company before you're going to do business with them, right? Well, just a little bit about us. Going way back in 1935, that's when the magic really started underneath a company called Equitable. We transformed into Silac in 2017 when we were acquired by our parent company. And we shifted our focus to strictly do asset accumulation products, annuities, right? 2018, we launched our first MYGA. There's going to be a couple keywords you're going to hear throughout this presentation today that has transparency and consistency. Those are two keywords we believe in. And we proved that consistency term by showing that we can keep a transparent view and a consistent view on our MYGA launch, where we kept a 4% interest rate for over 11 months. 2019, we launched our first indexed annuity, Teton, did fantastic, and we did phenomenal in 2020, and we're looking to do a very good job in 2021 as well with all this said and done. But that's just a recap. Here's where we sit actually. And this is a pretty big opportunity for everybody on this call, because we are a growing annuity company. We are not out there in every single shop, and clients are getting to know us, and our name is beginning to grow. We are ranked number 5 all together, okay? And we've only been in the annuity or the indexed annuity space since 2019. That's pretty cool. And then overall sales, we're ranked number 8. All right, we are in the top 10 players. So again, when you're showing clients Silac Annuities, you know, all right, it's a trusted name. We're growing not only on the product side, but our financial strength side as well. Let's talk about Denali before we go into Ravenpack. Real quick, what I want to point out is just the basics on Denali. So again, as I said earlier, Denali is our newest indexed annuity contract. We have 3 different chassis. There's a 7, 10, and 14-year chassis, and we offer a bonus and a non-bonus version, as you see on your screen here. Our 7-year contract, get this, goes up to age 90, okay? Goes up to age 90. Yes, the income rider is included. Yes, there's a wellness benefit, which we're going to talk about in a few moments, but max age 90. How many annuity companies are out there that offer an income rider to age 90? Okay, some big opportunity there for those older clients. Our 10-year contract stops at age 85, and our 14 goes up to age 80. Now, something unique about our Denali contract, we do allow for additional premiums in the first 12 months. Pretty cool. So if you have clients that want to issue something, or they want to add something in the first 12 months, they can do that. The better news for any agents on the phone here today, so you will get paid commission on those additional premiums, okay? So pretty cool feature on Denali. Max premium is $1 million. Hey, for any big hitters on the call, we take large cases all the time. We just ask that you submit a large case premium form, send it over to us. We will get back to you if we can accept that business. We just got done accepting 2 of them today, so yes, send those in, and we will definitely take a look at those. Now for our rates, I hope everybody's sitting down, okay, because I don't want anybody to fall over. These are our March rates right now. Take a look at the 7-year, 2.5 on the fixed rate. No, your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. 105% par rate on the Atlas, 110 on Ravenpack. That's our newest index strategy. So a 7-year contract with over 100% par rates. On the very far right-hand corner of your screen, we got the 14-year contract. 3% fixed rate, 140% par rate on Atlas, and 150 on Ravenpack. Now, the blue numbers you see on the bottom, we have a very unique crediting strategy called the Boost strategy. So, for example, on the Denali 14 contract, the current Boost strategy for Ravenpack is 2.25. This is how this works. Let's say Ravenpack was up 6% and the client was in the Boost strategy. They would receive 8.25%. So 6 plus 2.25. You just simply add that to whatever the index does. Pretty cool. Even cooler, all right, is if the interest was down. Let's say the Ravenpack was a -1. Even though 0 is your hero with annuities, we add that Boost strategy to a negative performance on that index, the clients would walk away with 1.25. We can turn a negative into a positive. That is pretty cool. Let's take a look at the bonus. All right, so on the 7-year contract, the bonus is 5%, 0 to 80, 81 to 92.5. Yes, all the bonuses are banded on the contract, but take a look at the 14. All right, 10% bonus, 0 to 70, 5%, 71 to 80. You are receiving a 10% bonus with 105% par rate and 115% par rate on RavenPak. Pretty cool. So we got you covered. Okay, we have a 7, 10, 14-year chassis. We have bonus. We have non-bonus. So we developed products, okay, that you could pick and choose what is the best option for your client, whether you want a big bonus, a small bonus, whether you don't want any bonus, or you want a short-term or a long-term annuity. We got that with Denali, and we also have that with Teton as well. Let's talk a little bit about the withdrawals. So on Denali, there is no fee. Again, I want to make sure everybody is very clear. There is no fee for the income rider. There's no fee anywhere on Denali, all right? But it does have an income rider. Now, the way that the income rider works is everything is linked to the account value, all right? It's a single engine contract. So since everything is linked to the account value performance, that means there's no restrictions. There's no maximum roll-up term. There's no benefit cap, okay? It's simply the performance of the account value which drives this contract to develop that lifetime income. Now, the math couldn't get simpler because when we calculate lifetime income, all we're doing is we're simply taking the account value and multiplying it by the appropriate payout percentage. Not hard at all right? But because everything's linked to the account value and the client's not paying any fees, there's one key phrase on this slide here that I want everybody to look at, and I hope you're looking at step up because step up is real. It can actually happen on the Denali contract. We see this all the time, and we're going to see it in some case studies here in just a minute. It does also have wellness withdrawals. So if a client cannot perform 2 out of the 6 activities of daily living, single income will double. Joint income will receive a 1.5 times enhancement, and it will pay out that enhanced income feature for a maximum of 5 years. Again, this is strictly ADL driven. A lot of people ask, well, what about cognitive impairment? The answer is absolutely not. It is strictly ADL driven. So 2 out of 6, this can be activated as anytime after the 2nd contract year, all right? So pretty cool income rider, even better wellness benefit, very strong accumulation annuity, all wrapped together, and guess what? No fees. Let's talk about RavenPak. And we're going to blend these together, but RavenPak is pretty exciting because it is the newest index that we have, and it is proven to have some very historical, strong performance. But when we looked at RavenPak, we said, look, we already have the Atlas strategy that many of you may be familiar with already, okay? And we asked the question, why? Do we really need another index? So we asked ourselves that. And then we started to ask, well, what if we could develop another index and we could only tie that index to the U.S. economy? Remember, Atlas is a global strategy. RavenPak is a different story. RavenPak, as what you're going to see here in just a few minutes, is tied to the S&P. So we said, okay, we can answer that. Yeah, so RavenPak may fit with this question, but let's take another question at it. We said, well, how does this all make sense? We're looking at Atlas, right? And it's using trending data and historical data to really kind of figure out where it needs to be across the globe. Well, RavenPak says, well, we're not going to look at trending data. We're not going to look at historical data. We're going to look at something called sentiment. And we're going to find out what sentiment means here in just a minute. But with sentiment, all of this information is coming at us. And I would say I'm a pretty good reader, but I only can read 1 page at a time. RavenPak can take all of this information and read it within milliseconds and analyze different components in milliseconds. We said, okay, RavenPak, you're added. And then we followed it up with the second key question, which is, do the old rules still apply? And let's think about this. If we looked at this and we said, well, the market is just not acting rational. It's just not, okay? people are investing in certain situations that a rational investor would just not do. So we said, look, is there another way that would be a better predictor, which we later found out was a keyword called sentiment that Ravenpack uses. Pretty cool stuff. We put all of this together knowing that sentiment is a key factor. We can keep it in the U.S. economy. And what Ravenpack came up with is not only would it complement the S&P 500, but also the Atlas Index perfectly, but it would be able to tell a very compelling accumulation story that we can use on Denali to keep consistent with our option budgets, to deliver that consistent option pricing, which is key, that so we can then deliver on consistent interest credits. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at just how Ravenpack works. Now, to dig into the details, CS Ravenpack or Credit Suisse Ravenpack AI, there's two components to it. We're going to first talk about Ravenpack. And Ravenpack is simply just a provider that has a very powerful system that analyzes and looks at everything that's going on in the financial news network. Okay, take a look at this. Take a look at this key feature here. All right, it can maintain databases that span multiple years and features more than 175,000 entities in over 200 countries. That means it has a lot of information coming at it. All right, and we're going to learn about a keyword that I kept saying before called sentiment. But first, let's talk about Credit Suisse. Don't want to get into too much detail, but it was just founded in 1856. It is the home market of Switzerland. It is put together with this Ravenpack AI index. Now, the components of Ravenpack. Ravenpack looks at the S&P 500, all right, and it says, hey, here are the stocks on the S&P 500. But we're going to combine them into sectors, all right? And then we're going to put a volatility control component on it. Remember how I said, is there a better way to deliver consistent option pricing to deliver consistent returns all linked to the U.S. economy? Yes, there is, and Ravenpack did that. So it takes all of those stocks and it puts it into their appropriate sectors. There are 11 sectors, believe it or not, in the S&P 500. Those are the 11 sectors you see on your screen here. It does have a 5% target volatility, and it uses the 2-year and 10-year treasuries for that volatility control component. Now, I threw a lot of information at you, and you may be saying, all right, let's organize this. There's sectors, there's this and that. How can we organize Ravenpack to understand how it works? Well, we're going to break it down into 4 points, okay? We're going to go over each one of these 4 points that you see here to understand just how the index was built, and then we're going to wrap it up on some case studies. So real quick, first things first, Ravenpack is going to calculate what's known as a sentiment score. Basically, all of that is it's going to analyze all of these millions of news articles out there, and it's going to give it either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So when we look at an example called Hershey's, all of these news articles are going to come up. If you Google Hershey, you're probably going to see some of these. And if it's positive, it's going to give it a thumbs up. And if it's a negative news article, it's going to give it a thumbs down. At the end of the day, it's going to have a score. And if there's more positive press than negative press, perfect. That score is positive. Okay? So in this example, Hershey got a +2. And then it filters all of those stocks, like I was saying before, into their appropriate sectors. So Hershey is in the consumer staples sector. Take a look at this. Here's an example of other stocks that are in the consumer staples sector. So we look at Clorox, for example. Of course, it's going to have a very positive number. I still have Clorox wipes that aren't even opened in my house, right? But Estee Lauder, look, we were all stuck at home. Who's putting makeup on, okay? Costco. Who wasn't going to Costco and buying jumbo packs of Tide and chips and whatever else, right? So again, it analyzes all this stuff based upon the press. It said, look, our sentiment score is reacting perfectly with what everybody's doing on their day-to-day life. And then it's going to calculate the sector score. And all that's really doing is it's basing the sector score on the market cap, okay, or the size of the company in the appropriate sector. So we look at the consumer staples, Procter & Gamble, it's a pretty big company. It's going to have a higher weight, okay? Hershey, it's not as big as Procter & Gamble, so the weight of it is not as big. After it does the sentiment score with the weight, the sector score is assigned. So again, those bigger companies are going to have a bigger pull, as they should. The smaller companies are going to have to work a little bit harder, all right? So that's how the sector score comes in about. After the sector score is created, okay, it's going to pick the top 4 sectors, all right? Key, top 4 sectors each and every quarter. So here are the 11 sectors. We ran through the example of consumer staples. The top 4 in this example, which the Ravenpack Index is currently allocated in, is healthcare, communication services, consumer discretionary, and there's our beautiful Hershey's example, consumer staples. Let's just take a look at how this actually works, because we went through this. It picks it every quarter. Let's look at an example of 2020. So Q1 hit. Coronavirus was coming, right? It didn't quite reach us. Maybe it did. We don't know. We're kind of on edge. We're watching the world kind of fall apart. So Q1 hit. Back in December of 2019, Ravenpack was analyzing everything. It was looking at these news articles. The sectors it was in Q1, information technology, healthcare, financials, communication. All right, so we can deal with that. But as Q1 was developing, things started to shift, right? Coronavirus came, it's here, it's impacted, things start to shut down. Look at what happened here. The sectors changed. Healthcare became number 1, communication became number 2, consumer staples, right? Everybody was doing, they thought the world was going to end Costco runs in Q2. And then energy, everybody was using more energy, okay? And it did this, remember, it didn't do it on the fly. It saw this coming by looking at these news articles and placing a sentiment value and determining what sectors to be at. As Q2 was going on, it said, hey, we need to start thinking about Q3. Again, it started analyzing everything. It changed. It picked new sectors, information technology, consumer discretionary, right? How many of you were receiving Amazon boxes? Probably on a daily basis. Consumer staples are there, and guess what? Materials. You couldn't buy a paintbrush at Home Depot even if you wanted one. Everybody was redoing their house, okay? And then in Q4, it said, hey, we got to do it again. And it said, well, hey, vaccines may be coming out. There's talk of this, there's talk of that. Healthcare jumped up. Look at this example, all right? We can honestly say, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I lived that. So Ravenpack is the perfect index where you could look back and say, well, I lived that index, so that index lived me. And I really hope that makes sense. But for any other questions, contact Levinson and we will get back to you. Now, just real quick, I just want to go over some historical performance here on the last 10 years. Take a look on the very far right-hand corner of your screen. On the boost strategy, we love talking about this on our Monday morning webinars when we talk about Ravenpack. Yes, if you had the boost strategy on historical data, there were no zeros in the last 10 years. That is pretty cool, okay? I like looking at that chart on a Monday morning because that gets me awake more than my coffee does. So that's a pretty cool feature. Now, we can't guarantee that a client's not going to have a zero, but based upon historical data, with our boost strategy on Ravenpack, there are no zeros in the last 10 years. Pretty neat. We always love showing stuff, and we kind of like to what we call toot the Silac horn a little bit. So we're gonna go off of that, and we show this chart because we have 2 of the top proprietary indices. So we have Atlas, and then we topped Atlas with Ravenpack. So we kind of like to show this to give ourselves a little pat on the back, and it's a pretty cool chart. So we're going to dig into this in just a little bit, but just to wrap it up here, here's more information on Ravenpack. If anybody wants to check out the ticker, the index actually did go live in 2017. Again, there are no fees on the index and on Denali. And even though it is available in all states, there's a couple of states that can't be illustrated. So let's take a look at a case study to wrap it all up. The first case study we're going to look at is with Denali. Pretty simple case study, okay? This is probably one that most of you see or utilize on a day in and day out basis. But we're going to look at our Denali 14 contract. We're going to put $100,000 in, and we're going to defer income for 10 years. Now, in this one, we're not going to show RavenPack, but we are going to show, to keep it fair, okay? To keep it fair is we're going to put 50% in the monthly point-to-point with cap of 2.75, and then 50% into our Atlas strategy. Let's take a look at the illustration. When you run an illustration with Silac, this is what you're going to see. Boom, on the top right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see an annual effective rate. You're thinking, all right, 8.41%, that's pretty good, but what is that? Well, that's just the average of the first 10 years. You're probably looking at some of those numbers and you're saying, Tim, there is almost an 18% credit, over 13.5, over 15. Are these real? Let me tell you, we had our first round of Teton anniversaries come through, and I can say that on the Teton 14 with the par rate that was on the Teton 14, the Atlas strategy was providing over 9% returns, okay? That is pretty cool. So when we show this, we're like, hey, we're not too far off, okay? We saw that. Those are real interest credits. So again, this is just historical data here combined with the monthly point-to-point and Atlas, some pretty cool interest credits. But take a look at this. Remember, we put $100,000 in. Denali is always about the account value. It went from 100,000 to 224. Remember, account value is your driver. We apply the payout percentage, and remember, we deferred income for 10 years. Boom, income is turned on. That client's going to start receiving almost $12,000, $11,770 to be exact a year. Don't forget about the wellness benefit. Remember, I talked about that a little bit. 2 out of 6 ADLs on a single life, the income can double for a maximum of 5 years. But we also talked about a feature called Step Up, if you remember. Guess what happened when we started income in this example? Our account value grew based upon the awesome accumulation performance in Denali. So Step Up happened. Hey, right? We got a higher account value. It happens automatically. We're almost now up to that $12,000, $11,927 to be exact. But the story keeps getting better. We started income at age 71, right? At age 90, our account value, we started income at age 71. Off of $100,000, our account value is just shy of $375. We withdrew $320,000. To wrap it all up, this contract was almost worth $700,000. Pretty cool, right? But to really show you the performance, I think this is fair. We ran another illustration with Denali 7, and we put in the same $100,000. We did an issue age of age 60. We deferred income for 10 years. But this time, this is where you're going to see the power of not only our Atlas strategy, but our brand new RavenPack strategy working together. And keep in mind, this is a 7-year contract. Take a look. Boom, we have our annual effective rate of 7.54. We put it in, basically that's the average of the first 10 years. Remember, we put in $100,000. At the end of 10 years, okay, our account value is worth $206,942. Remember, this is a 7-year contract. $206,942. We turned income on $11,382. Don't forget about the wellness benefit, but don't forget about Step Up, because guess what happened? Step Up happened on this contract. After we withdrew that $11,382, because of the interest credit, our account value grew and it delivered. Our income is now $11,824. Get this. This is where it starts to get exciting. At the end of age 90, our account value, remember, 7-year contract, $100,000. We started income at 71. Our account value is worth $274. We withdrew $277, and our total value is $550 on a 7-year contract. Just think of the power RavenPack and Atlas could have together when you're looking at 140% par rate and 150% par rate with RavenPack on Denali 14. You can probably already guess what's going to happen. The numbers are going to look phenomenal. Now, with that, I do want to close it out here because we have something very special We have an awesome 2022 Agent Awards trip. All of you who are actively writing business with Silac are already earning incentive trip points right now. It started back in July 1st of 2020. Let's take a peek. All right, yes, we are going to Japan. So if you are not writing business, it's an 18-month qualification. You still have plenty of time to try to qualify. For more information, I would suggest contacting your Levingston marketer. And with that, I am going to turn it back over. So I appreciate it. And I guess I'll open it up for any questions.
That was amazing. Amazing. Great job. We actually have a closed line because of the number of participants, but what we'll do, use the question box, call Josh or Ashley, and then we can always get you involved after the fact, so no problem at all. So tons and tons of value there. I learned a lot. No cost income rider, participation rates over 100% in most cases. The LTC rider, this is phenomenal. Very exciting stuff. We also have a record number of attendees on for an annuity training, so kudos to all of you. Okay, next up is Joseph Loughran. He's going to show you how you can start to market these products and this concept to new prospects. Joe, you there?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So one thing I want to go over, we actually built this really the last year to kind of make sure that you have the right tools in place, not only to kind of market all these different products, to make sure you stay in touch with your existing clients as well. So what you're looking at is the revamped annuity agency automator platform that actually allows you not only to have a CRM tool, but also a prospecting tool. So if you're just kind of dabbling or starting out in the annuity industry, you've got a great tool to kind of make sure that you're getting in front of the right prospects at the right time. So what I want to show you here is part of the automator platform actually gives you access to all these different email marketing templates. We're constantly updating these with new templates, new products. So you can actually go in, pick an email template, and all of your contact information, all of your branding automatically goes into that email template. You can then set drip email campaigns, and not only just set them very easily for future correspondence with clients, but this system actually notifies you every time a client opens up the email, and if they click on any of the call to action buttons inside of that email. So a great way to kind of keep all the latest products, all the latest rates in front of your clients, especially if you have clients that are coming up on renewals. This system will automatically remind you and let you know that, hey, there's this client that is actually coming up for renewal. Maybe it's time to talk about new products or even a conversion. So it's a great way to keep your name in front of clients and not miss any of those activities that are going to really generate some new business for you. Now, I mentioned earlier a prospecting system built in to the Agency Automator platform, and that's what I'm going to dive into in this slide. There's really two different databases inside of Agency Automator. You've got a consumer database where we have a little over 28 million records, and then a business prospect database, which are going to be business owners. We've got just under 7 million records inside that database. So the example that I want to show here is going in, plugging in your zip code, actually putting in this example a 25-mile radius. You can plug in all the client's information, whether you're going after a business owner who maybe is looking for some sort of annuity product, or really maybe looking at someone who's approaching retirement. You can put in that client's date of birth. You can put in their assets, if they own a home, what their net worth is, what their income is, and really actually pull a qualified list of prospects that are in your area that are actually going to be perfect candidates for any of these annuity products. In this example, I picked a 25-mile radius from the office. I actually picked people that were turning 65 in the next 6 months, and then actually narrowed down by people that had a net worth of at least $250,000 or more. And just based on that criteria, I got 574 people that I can actually market to. Not only do I get the list, I get their name, their phone number, I get their contact information, I get their title at their current position, at their employer. So all these that can be used to actually market on an ongoing basis to kind of make sure that you're in front of them and you can have that conversation and really get to know them and hopefully turn that prospect into a client. So in my opinion, one of the most powerful tools you can use to kind of get your name out there and let clients know exactly what you do on a daily basis. So awesome platform, and we do have training on this every single day of the week. One last thing I want to mention here is we actually have a email that goes out called the Levinson Annuity Alert. You're going to actually see that in the subject line, and if you're not getting this email, we'll actually subscribe you. You can just email annuities@kerrylevinson.com and ask to be subscribed to all annuity notifications. This is a must. If you're in the annuity space or looking to be, this is a way to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of the industry, to kind of know exactly what's going on as we roll out new products, new platforms, new quoting systems and presentation tools on the annuity side. Really a great way to know what's going on any given week. So again, that's called the Levinson Annuity Alert. It's just a great way to stay on top of everything that's happening in the industry.
Okay, good stuff, Joseph. We are just about done. So upcoming agent trainings, which is what you're on right now. So like I said earlier on the call, every single day of the week at 2 p.m. Eastern, we host these live agency automator trainings with Kevin, our programmer. So let's just say maybe you're not very savvy with technology and you have your son or daughter or assistant that helps you out. No problem. Okay, you can register on our website and you can sit in on, say, Monday's a SureWorks call, right? Ask questions. It's an open forum, so you can hear other agents' questions, concerns, and the goal is that you all learn together, okay? So basically, you pick a different topic. Let's say Wednesday, it's the CRM program. So we give this out free to all active agents. It's a free basic site in CRM, no charge, okay? Sit in on the call, ask questions until you're comfortable. Okay, and that is the goal. We understand, not everyone is a Bill Gates, right? Some of our agents are 17, some are in their 70s and 80s, okay? No problem. But these days, you have to have a basic website, a CRM tool, some basic social media pages. You have to use it to market and get your name out. So we understand how it goes, and that's why we built all of these trainings to help you all. That's simple. Okay, let's scroll down there in the blue box. This is going to be a big webinar. So on the 25th, Mary Reed, she's the author of 7 different books, my favorite distribution solutions. So she's going to be live on the call, and we're discussing new strategies for 2021. This is going to be a big one, okay? In fact, what I'm going to do, anyone that gets appointed with SILAC, okay, on the annuity side, I'm going to send you her distribution solution book on us, okay? So as soon as you get appointed, send me an email. I'll mail you out. We call it basically DS sales strategies. I'll mail it out on us, no problem. Right under that is the Emeritus Life Living Benefit Sales webinar. So they made some updates to the new kind of life insurance that pays while you're alive. We're going to go over all of the latest and greatest with Emeritus on the 30th, and then on the bottom, we're going over a new non-med IUL that is a game changer in the space, especially selling over the phone. That's going to be a big one on April 1st, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, our last slide here and our question of the day. Okay, so before I ask the question, okay, I'm already starting to get the questions and answers coming in and emails, and actually people have my cell phone number and they text me the answer, which that's against the rules, okay? Basically just use that question box. But before we ask the question, I want to talk about the Positive Tuesday quote. Today happens to be Tuesday. We all have a story from the past that we cannot change now, and we all have a chance to build a future that we can change now. The point is, it's up to you all, right? Moving forward, it could be a new you on a personal, on a business side. If you want to maybe get a little more comfortable with selling annuities and supplementing your income, or if you're a veteran in the space, great. Leverage some of these tools. Use that MAP program. We will pay for your leads, marketing, everything. Okay, if you're writing the numbers, done, no problem. In fact, Joe, let's include in our thank you email to all the participants, Let's include a copy of the MAP program, all of the brochures, licensing, everything they need to get started. Okay, you'll have that email before midnight today. Okay, so again, questions, call Josh or Ashley. Question of the day. Now is when you get your fingers on your keyboard and you get ready to go, because we're giving away an Amazon Echo or the Fire tablet. You pick, as long as you're active with us, okay, with at least one company. Question of the day. Our annuity co-op lead program rates, okay, we organized a special deal for you all. What is the price per lead? The co-op discounted price, you name it, you win. Joe, do we have a winner? You tell me the price.
Do.
Oh, that was quick. Okay, who is it?
Yeah, a lot of answers today. Kevin C. from Ohio.
Kevin C., congratulations. It's $45 per exclusive annuity lead that's negotiated. Run with that opportunity, Kevin. Congrats. Have a great positive Tuesday, a great week, great selling, and thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time. Take care.